Hi, I'm Addie with the Pickaway County Library, bringing you this week's Family STEM Challenge. Today we're going to do 3 different egg experiments. So the materials you'll see pictured are an egg carton, some eggs, some markers, plastic grocery bags, Ziploc bags, some bubble wrap, some tissues. One thing that we ended up using that's not pictured is some cotton balls. Most of those materials are just suggestions. You don't have to use them all. Be creative and use what you have at home. Okay, the first experiment, we like to call it Save Humpty Dumpty. It's just an egg drop. So what we did was we labeled our eggs. My boys drew pictures, little faces on the eggs. You could just label it or write your name on it, especially if you're doing this in a big group so you can keep track of whose eggs are surviving and whose aren't. So we wrapped them up, we let everybody choose how they wanted to wrap up their egg, and then we put them in the Ziploc bags, and then we dropped them from just a countertop height. You could try this lots of different ways. You could start out like 2 feet off the ground and just increase to see how high you can go before the eggs start breaking. The second experiment is creating a parachute for your egg to see if it can help it land safely on the ground. So the materials you'll need are an egg carton. We just had a styrofoam egg carton, a plastic grocery bag, and your eggs. So we tried this a few different ways. Unfortunately, we don't have a video of it, but we have a series of pictures to show you how to set up your parachute. And we tried it from the top of our fridge. It's up to you where you want to do it and how high you want to drop it from. We definitely found that it worked better. It was too heavy if we had more than a couple of eggs in the carton at once. So we recommend trying 1 egg at a time and maybe even doing a trial run of 0 eggs in it at first to see that your parachute is working. And again, it's up to you how high you drop it from, but the goal is to get that parachute to work so that your egg will land safely on the ground. For our third and final experiment, we're going to remove an eggshell without using our hands. For this experiment, you will need a jar, an egg, and some vinegar. What you'll do is put the egg in the jar and pour enough vinegar over it so that it's completely covering the egg, and then you're gonna have to let it sit. For us, we had to leave it overnight. I didn't keep track of exactly how many hours it took, but it did take a while. So you might want to prep this one before you start the other ones, and then you'll have to come back to it later. So what you're looking for is for the egg to feel a little rubbery, kind of like the texture of a bouncy ball. You want it to give a little. You want to be able to squeeze it. So that's when you'll know it's ready. There might still be a little bit of white filmy residue on it. That's okay. You can just wipe that off. And then so pull it out of the jar when you think it's ready. And then you should be able to bounce it. We tried it from like 2 feet and it worked. We have a video of that we'll show you. And then when we got to about 3 feet or so, it did break on us. So again, this is something that you can try. See how high you can go before it does break, and see if you can get it to bounce like we did. With all of these experiments, there's a lot of variations, a lot of different ways you can do it, so be creative and have fun. We hope you've enjoyed them, and we would love to see your pictures or videos of your experiments. So please feel free to share them below this video in the comment section on our Facebook page at Pickaway County Library.